This video covers problem 15 from the Test 2 review in Math 1351. This problem is all about volume, and it says to go back and reuse the same pictures from above to find the volume. So I'm going to go back up to A, okay, which we said was a cube. So on your formulas, the formula for a cube, volume of a cube, is E cubed. Okay, so each side was 5, so 5 cubed, and we get 125. Now the measurements on volume are always cubed, okay, because it's I think of it as being three-dimensional, so it's got to have 3 cubes. It's got to be up to cubed. Part B. Okay, there's 2 ways to do part B. One is that it's a rectangular prism. And so we have a formula for that. It's length times width times height. Just think if you're trying to find the volume of a box, that's probably what you use. You also could use B times H, and that's just for an in general prism. And so then the area of the base of a rectangle would be length times width, so that's where that comes from. All right, so we'll go ahead and use this one. Volume equals length times width times height, which was given. Length was 10, width was 4, height was 8. So we do 10 times 4 times 8, and you get 320. Each side was measured in meters, so it's going to be meters cubed. Part C is a triangular prism, and just like before, the base is this triangle, not the part that's on the bottom, because the 2 bases are the same exact, and none of the other sides are maybe the same exact. So those are going to be what we're looking for. So remember that formula I just said was volume equals area of the base times the height. So when you're doing a triangle, okay, remember it's 1/2 base times height, and the base and the height are at 90-degree angles, so that'll be 2 and 6. And then the height, it's right here, it's 9 centimeters. Remember, it's on its side from the other video. So 1/2 times 2 times 6 times 9 is going to give us 54. Each side was measured in centimeters, so our answer is going to be centimeters cubed. Okay, D is a cylinder. So again, we could use the area of the base times the height, but there's also one just for the cylinder. You just replace area of the base with pi r squared. So remember, you can use either one. So pi, and in our picture, r was 3, height was 6. So we'll go 3 squared times 6 gives 54 pi, and we were measured in centimeters, so centimeters cubed. E is a pyramid. It's a square pyramid. And so the ones for a pyramid are 1/3. So if it's a prism, it doesn't have a fraction, but a pyramid has the 1/3. And if you're curious why, go back and watch the video for volume, and I explain why it is 1/3. So 1/3, area of the base times the height. So 1/3, the base was a square because it's 8 by 8. And remember, with surface area, we had to find the slant height, but with volume, we don't. We need the regular height. Okay, the way I think of it is surface area is on the outside, so we need the slant height because that's on the outside. When we're talking volume, we're talking about what's inside, so we want the height on the inside. So that will be 6. So 1/3 times 8 times 8 times 6 gives 128 in centimeters cubed. All right, then we have a cone. Okay, again, we could use the same formula we used for E, but there is one for cones. Just instead of having the area of the base, it has pi r squared. That's essentially the same thing. So 1/3 pi r is 6. And the height was 8. Now again, we need the height on the inside because we're talking about the volume. And so 1/3 times 6 squared times 8 gives 96. We have a pi. It's measured in centimeters, so centimeters cubed. And last problem, part G. Back to our giant basketball with a radius of 5 meters. And so the formula is 4/3 pi r cubed. So I've got 4/3 pi 5 cubed. So for 4/3 times 5 cubed, we're going to look at the directions for where around. We put meters cubed for the measurements. If it says to multiply pi in, leave your number how it was after 4/3 times 5 cubed and just put times pi or times 3.14 depending on your directions. This concludes problem 15 from the test 2 review. This also concludes the entire review. If you have any questions on any of the problems I went over, please reach out to me and ask. Good luck.